What's going on, people? Welcome to another episode of the Mandem Read. It's your boy B, and I'm joined with
JK Jamal,
BJ East. Call me what you will. Yes.
And we're live today. And today we're reviewing a book called
Don't Believe Everything You Think.
Thank you very much. Yeah. I was about to say, don't believe everything you read.
That's what I was thinking as well.
Yeah.
And by the artist name, Joseph. Is it Nguyen?
But you can get a book on Spotify, Amazon, all the regular places.
I found the book on TikTok.
Did you?
Yeah.
Actually, the book.
I listened to it on Spotify, but I found it on TikTok. The link you sent me was on TikTok.
Yeah, it's very popular on TikTok. I like. What do you think of the book?
I think it's nice and brief, straight to the point. I think the structure of it is nice. It breaks down basically breaks down like how to not overthink negative thoughts.
Yeah.
To keep it short, do you know what I mean? It just breaks down how that develops in your mind. And I like the breakdown. Was it like 9 different chapters? 10 different chapters.
I think it's like a Vietnamese origin name. So I was trying to like see if it ties down to some kind of monks. Do you know what I'm saying? Because it seems like kind of like Buddhist principles.
Yeah, that kind of, yeah.
Does anyone know what religion they do in Vietnam?
Yeah, Buddhism, I suppose. Buddhism.
Is it Buddhist as well, yeah? Okay.
I'm sure they have like a percentage of like Muslims or Christians or not.
Oh, he's a Jesuit priest.
What is that?
That's a good question. A Jesuit, you know what a Jesuit?
I don't know what is it. What is that?
It's like, I don't even want to, it's very political.
What do you mean?
I was going to say, I don't know, bro.
Yeah. But that's something for everyone to kind of look into anyway. He's a Jesuit
priest and professor and a licensed therapist and electrical musician. That's good. I'm doing a bit.
So I read a chapter. It's called Thoughts versus Thinking.
Wait, before you go into the thoughts, why did we pick this book?
I picked this book because it was chosen during Mental Health month. So and it was buzzing on TikTok.
Yeah.
Saw a lot of little small TikToks on it.
Yeah.
And that was my motivation, and it kind of reminded me of the other kind of self-help books we've read, like 7 Habits and that kind of how to suppress the negative thoughts and act on or spend less energy on those negative thoughts. So I read a chapter called Thoughts versus Thinking, and it might sound crazy, but thoughts are actually different from thinking. Thoughts and thinking. You might think, hold on, thoughts, thinking, isn't it the same thing?
How does that, like, the book break it down? What is the difference?
So thoughts are raw things that just come into our mind and anything can invoke them. Whereas thinking is when you start to process the thoughts. So let's say, for example, a good example is, and this is in the book, if I told you to think of an amount of money that you'll be happy with, that a large amount of money that you'll be happy with, a thought will pop into your mind.
Yeah.
Then if I tell you to times that by 5, now that thought becomes into thinking, because then you start to think, hold on, this is the most amount of money that I could, or anyone in my family could earn. You'll be thinking about what you could do with that money. So that's the thinking process of it. So thoughts are just raw things, and it's from an infinite source. Thoughts come.
Yeah.
Like you never run out of thoughts. Now, thinking is when you spend your time and effort processing those thoughts. And what I get from it is that you have many thoughts, but all of them don't have to be acted on.
Of course, yeah.
So you have your positive thoughts and your negative thoughts, but sometimes we just kind of think and start processing the negative one, and that's when the psychological warfare happens in our minds, and we spend all our time thinking about the negative and the positive ones. We kind of sideline them, and then it affects the way we are. It affects the way we act, maybe our dreams, maybe the way you see yourself, because you have to think how you see yourself.
Can I ask you both a question? Do you guys have like that monologue in your head, like the voice in your head?
Yeah.
I think everyone, like
I don't think everyone does.
No,
You don't think so?
There's like a large part of the population who have nothing going on in their head. Not nothing going on, but like they don't have, you know, that voice where you reason with
The
yourself.
voice of reason.
Like, you know, I might be thinking, oh, I might do this and do that. So I was wondering, okay, I'll have to ask someone who doesn't have that voice in their head because, for example, thought will hit me on that. But if you don't have a voice in your head, how do thoughts hit you? Sorry.
I think bare thoughts hit them. Like they get bare thoughts.
Yeah, thoughts is an infinite source. So anything you do invokes a thought. So the first time you walk into this room, you're like, rah. A thought comes around. This room's interesting.
Yeah.
Then you start thinking about, okay, what I can do with this room. Oh yeah, we can set up some tables and chairs and set up some lights, and we can. That's now you're starting to process, and that's the act of thinking. That's the act of thinking. So
My chapter was the discovery of suffering. It was interesting. He talks about how there's two arrows, right? The first arrow is an incident or something that happens, and the second arrow is how you respond to it, basically. So anything can happen to anyone. Yeah, you can get into a car crash. No, let's say you can run someone over. Yeah. Let's just say you can run someone over, right? But how you respond to it, like what you do after that, is in your control. Actually, no, that was a bad example. Say, okay, a loss in your family. Yeah, that's something you can't control. That's an incident that's happened, right? How you react to it is something you can control. So the first arrow is the loss. Yeah, something that's out of body, something that you can't control, something that's happened to you. And the second arrow is the response, how you react to it, right? You can only control the second arrow, right? So you can choose to suffer or choose a way of like getting out of it. And he just talks about, basically like you have choice. You don't have to wallow in like your sadness and whatnot. There's other ways around it, which I found interesting. You know what I mean? Because some people just think, oh yeah, something sad's happened to me, so I gotta act sad and allow this to kind of just drown me out, sort of thing. Dead. I think that's dead.
So how'd you stop yourself from doing that then?
I mean, there's different. He doesn't talk about that, but I mean, personally, there's different ways of doing that.
Do you think that kind of like thinking is kind of like these teachings come around in different ways? Like if you are a Christian man, because I grew up in a Christian faith, the Bible teaches you like what is that? What's that thing? God give me the strength to give to change the things that I can change, and the strength to accept those that I can't. Essentially, that's the same kind of thing, isn't it? Choosing suffering or choosing the second arrow, as you would put it. I'm guessing, I don't know what is it? Hero what? What is it? What's his religion?
He's a Jesuit.
But I'm just saying.
He's a Jesuit.
Jesuit.
It's quite like similar knowledge that goes around for maybe different teachings. It just kind of comes around. It's kind of similar messages.
Yeah. No, that's true. That's true. There's different ways of putting it. Yeah, there's a saying. What's it called? It's not the first one. The second arrow. Thought and response, something like that. Like incident and response. Something that happens. The A and the B. There's two factors to every situation. Yeah. The incident and the response. But he just calls it two arrows. I don't know, man. It's the Jesuit talking.
What about your chapter? What did you?
So one of the things I liked about the book is basically when it talks about like there actually is no positive thinking required.
Because that's in my chapter as well. Because that is just of a state.
Yeah.
Of a natural state.
Wait, what?
Yeah. So our natural state is of enjoyment, happiness, and peace. But we get influenced by negative thoughts that take us out of it. Take us out of it. So so it's I think it's saying we're kind of peaceful, naturally peaceful people. But as you experience the world, negativity kind of influences and infiltrates the way of thinking. So it takes it doesn't really take any effort to be happy, to be peaceful, and to invoke these positive thoughts. You know how they say you use more muscles to frown than you do to smile.
Okay.
Because what I found is that the book's kind of trying to lead you down to a path of like no thinking. Mental quietness is when you'd be
And you notice that when you do think of things, it's always the negative stuff that you're thinking about. That always torments your mind.
Do you think so?
Yeah, you're more at ease with happy thoughts. Like they just come easily. You don't have to think too much on it, and it influences the way you work, and everything just comes with the flow. But if you've got negative thoughts in your mind, everything else now starts to become a struggle. Your environment. If you don't like going to work, get into work. You're thinking about getting to work. You're thinking about waking up the next day. Just the thought of work. Whereas if you're happy and you're going to play football tomorrow and you love playing football, like everything around you just becomes easy. You flow easier. You don't really think too much on it, kind of thing. That's what I notice.
Let's say, for example, you're going to work in the morning, right? This is like a real case situation, and you're kind of like read this book and you're trying to live by this book. You know that feeling you get on a Monday morning when you don't want to go into the office? Is what's it called? Monday morning blues. That's it, Monday morning blues. Yeah. When you got that Monday morning blues, I think does it start with like an emotion, of like you wake up and go, I'm just going to be a long day today. And then the dread sets in. Is emotion a thought, or is it like a feeling?
I think emotion is a thought. No, emotion is a feeling.
I think emotion is a response.
Yeah, a response. Because you have to get the thought, then that invokes the emotion, and then you get a response. Every little thing, as per that chapter read, starts with a thought. Even if you have to get up and walk, it's a thought. You wake up and let's say you wake up in the morning and you have to brush your teeth. It starts with a thought. A thought, which is the noun, comes before the verb, the action. You can't operate without a thought. Your brain can't tell your legs to do something. You see what I mean?
So if you don't like the thought, or the thought is a sad thought or something like that, that's when you become sad.
And that's when because the thought operates the doing, the verb.
Yeah.
If you have a negative thought, then it's going to affect the way you move and the things you do.
You know what I'm saying?
Who would you recommend this book to? Like, what kind of person and what kind of things are they going through? Do you reckon someone might say, yo, pick up this book and read it?
To me, this is like one of them books that you read on a train, on a long train to like Manchester or something like this, and never again.
But it's short though, isn't it?
Yeah, it's nice. It's a good book.
But my question is, who would you recommend it to?
Who?
Like, there's a person who needs what's in the book. Who would you bring that?
Someone that's like going through ups and downs at work or something. Who's new to work, the work life or something.
Definitely young people who act on impulse.
Yeah.
Like you something just comes in your mind and you just act, and like if someone steps on your foot and you act, and you want to just act there and then. But if you can separate the type of thought that you're experiencing, and no, this is a negative thought, so I know that whatever I do and react is going to be negative. A lot of people just killing people over stupidness. People just acting on impulses, and I think the people who don't and are more emotionally intelligent, they don't act on impulse, and they're able to separate the thoughts. No, this is a thought that doesn't require that much attention and action. I think it's about recognizing that everything I do starts with a thought, and to say not every thought requires effort. Like if a man tells you to shut up, like why are you going to waste your energy even answering him back? Or and I know us as especially like black men, we like
egos are just,
the egos.
Shut up, bro.
Exactly. and then he's going to tell you to shut up again, then it can start into a fight.
Yeah.
Someone can pull out, So
yeah, that's true.
That's
true. Would you rate the book?
So I should recommend the book to someone else. I'll recommend it to someone who suffers from anxiety. So I think people who overthink things and struggle, I don't know, with any type of anxiety. I think anxiety, for me, my understanding would probably be a wave of thoughts that becomes thinking, that becomes overthinking, that becomes too much and overwhelming. So if you can find that mental quietness and what's the book talk about? Your inner wisdom as well, come from it as well. I think that's who I recommend the book to. So people who are suffering from anxiety and things like that.
Being a religious man, do you feel like you get the same message from a Bible?
Yes.
Do you feel like you would have needed to? Is there need to read this over a Bible?
You can read both and see how the Bible teaches about righteousness and how you shouldn't just like your tongue. You shouldn't use the same tongue that you use to worship God shouldn't be used to curse an ex-man. Also, the things that you speak, you can speak it into existence. Those kind of things, and see your speak yourself how you how you want to be seen is how you should speak of yourself, kind of thing. Yeah. So yeah.
Like speak what you want.
Speak how you want to be seen. That's it. Yeah. So definitely.
Yeah, I wouldn't really recommend the book, but it's a good book.
What's your mental like?
What's my what?
Your mental like?
Mental?
Yeah, what's your mental health like?
Oh, my mental health?
Yeah.
I think it's pretty sane. I think I'm pretty alright.
So is that why you wouldn't recommend the book? Because you feel like you don't need it? Or you feel like...
I feel like I got, in another way, I got this message in other books or in other things. Like I don't find anything new in this book.
But this book is nice and small and compact, and you can get the same message in a small, digestible way.
Yeah. No, I hear that. Yeah, I hear that.
So that is... What's the name of the book again? Don't always believe...
Don't believe everything you're thinking.
You think?
Yeah.
Don't believe everything you think.
So it's in the title, don't believe everything you think. So everything you think, i.e. the thought that it starts, don't believe, because it could be a negative thought. You don't always believe it, don't always act on it. So yeah.
Yeah, so what do we rate it? What do you rate it?
I'll give it, for ease of read and the content and the straight to the point, I'll give it a 8.5.
Bro,
Is that high?
that's high.
Yeah, I'll give it 8.5.
That's high. God bless.
I'll give it an 8 or 7.5. I'll say, look, we read quite a lot of self-help books, and, you know, some of them are quite lengthy, and sometimes you need to get straight to the point. This book is kind of going straight to the point, what it thinks you need to help yourself in regards to whatever it's teaching you about. There's not much waffle in it. It's kind of like straight, direct, 9 straight chapters. And sometimes you need that. Like, for example, the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. And is it 5? What's it called? Atomic Habits.
Yeah.
One's bigger, one's smaller, and they all speak of the same thing. There's loads of books that do the same thing as all these other books.
But different, yeah.
Some of them just, you need to get to the point. Because, you know, sometimes it's a different perspective than I've ever thought about.
You think they got to the point well, though?
I think so.
Yeah, I like it. What do you give it before we wrap up?
Give it a 7.
Okay, that's not bad.
Give it a 7. 6, 5, 7.
You give it a 7, but you wouldn't recommend it.
6, 5.
6.5.
Still quite high for a book. You know what? You don't rate it, man. You rate it.
No.
We say 7.
You rate it.
No, I'd read it. I don't rate it. Like I wouldn't read it again. No, I wouldn't read it again.
Do you read self-help books again after you read them? Are you that type of person?
Yeah. 48 Laws I've read a few times.
Is that a self-help book though? That's not a self-help book.
Okay.
Anyway, we'll talk about that book another time.
Off screen. Yeah.
Yeah.
But time to go.
We're gonna wrap it up.
Thank you for having us. It's been a Mandem read. Another one in the bookshelf.
Yeah, that's a good way to say it. Yeah.
That was nice.
All right.
Boom.